Brexit fallacy number 10. The Brexit referendum showed the will of the people. My name's Mike Cashman. If you find these videos interesting or useful, please subscribe to the channel, Britannia Waves the Rules, and tell your friends as well. So, Brexit fallacy number 10. Brexit was the will of the people. And I'm talking specifically about the 2016 referendum, so in a future video we'll get into what happened later. Now, at first sight, seems a reasonable claim to make. It was almost 52% versus 48% in terms of those who voted. Not everybody voted, but that's always the case. So surely the population wanted Brexit. But you have to examine that a little bit closer. What did they want? Now, if there's a choice between a wide range of alternatives, such as we've recently had in the French presidential election, then initially you have to vote in order to narrow the options down to two. That's the reasonable way to do it. And in 2016, there were a number of options on the table, except not very visibly. Let's just think, for example, of three options. Of Remain, a hard Brexit, leaving the single market and the customs union, and a softer Brexit, staying in the single market and the customs union. Same logic works if you have more than three options, but for simplicity, let's just say three. Now, let's just suppose for a minute that those three options had been on the ballot paper. And before anybody says, "Oh, Mike, you're splitting the pro-Brexit vote, that's not fair." No, we can have a single transferable vote system to eliminate the least favoured options. What would happen in that instance? I suggest to you that in the first round, probably 48% would have voted for Remain, and the Brexit voters would have voted whichever way. Let's say, for example, 17% for soft Brexit, 35% for hard Brexit, because people wanted, let's assume people wanted, as it were, full-strength Brexit. So, okay, if that had happened, soft Brexit would have been eliminated, and those soft Brexit votes would have been either redistributed if people put a second preference, or you have a runoff vote. But what would those 17% have done? Well, many of them would have gone for hard Brexit, because they would have said, well, I want some sort of Brexit. But they wouldn't all have done that, because there were many people who were prepared to have Brexit, but not in very economically damaging ways, as they thought. So of those 17%, if, say, just a quarter had said, all right, okay, no, we can't have a soft Brexit that maintains some of the economic advantages, then actually I'll go for Remain. And those 4% votes would have added to the 48. It would have been 52% Remain, 48% hard Brexit in the runoff. But people may say, but it wouldn't necessarily have been that way. It might have been 35% for soft Brexit, because, a lot of people were arguing for that. We're not going to give up the benefits of the single market. Norway option looks quite attractive, said Nigel Farage. So maybe 35% would have voted for soft Brexit and 17% for hard Brexit. And then what would have happened in the runoff? Well, those 17%, would they all have gone for soft Brexit? Well, seemingly, no, they wouldn't, because many hard Brexiters have said, well, to be honest, if we're to be a rule taker in the single market and the customs union without any ability to influence the rules of the single market, no, I wouldn't want that. Actually, Remain would be better than that. And, it doesn't have to be a lot of those hard Brexiters that take that option. Just a quarter of them, let's say, quarter of the 17% would mean that, again, Remain would have got 52%. Now, that's speculation. But what I can say is that there is no evidence that a majority of the population preferred any specific Brexit option to the option of remaining. And I suggest the likelihood is that they didn't. And so the Brexit that we got, any Brexit that we got, but for example, the Brexit that we did get, was not the will of the people. I'm Mike Cashman. Please subscribe to the channel. Britannia Waves the Rules. Thank you.